Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to take a moment to do a very brief friendship reading. This is more sort of like an update for the friendship between Blackpink Jisoo and Jung Hae-in, the actor. They both started Snowdrop. I remember I did a tarot reading for them. I believe a year ago or something like that. And I was requested by someone to do an update. I do not do shipping readings. This is not the intention of this spread, of this star reading, nor what I promote. But, I was curious actually, because I do like both of them. And I really was like, oh, okay, let's do this. So as you know, if I see something romantic, I'm going to express it the way I see it. If I don't see it, I'm also going to express it from the way I interpret the tarot. So, okay, let's start. I place him on the left and Jisoo on the right. So in his side, we got the Ten of Cups, the Tower, and the Lover's card. So, and then I pulled an extra card from the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, and he got the card of Jupiter in Virgo. That is the card of patience. So definitely I believe that they had like a very stable connection, like probably working together or just coinciding in different places, like that it felt like not them alone. I feel like there's a lot of people, there's more like a community, more people involved, very genuine, accordingly to his perspective, very warm feeling, very people that really like each other, it could be related to other actors as well, but I think that he definitely felt a sort of very, very comfortable in that Ten of Cups, and actually he could potentially like feel very comfortable around her, emotionally, feel like he can be himself and actually feel very, very funny, very, I feel his mood very uplifting. I know he's an Aries. I believe he's an Aries and his moon is in Virgo, if I'm not mistaken. So, he has his moments where he's a very spontaneous guy. But I think that, seeing the reading starting with the Ten of Cups, definitely it's a very loving feeling because it's like a group of friends or a community that makes you feel welcome and love and accepted, and you feel like you belong and you want to be there because you feel emotionally fulfilled. But at the same time, there's a lot of people. The Ten of Cups, it's the communion of a lot of people. So if it has to do with him actually being able to see her or to spend time with her, probably there's other people around. So this is why we have the Tower and the Lovers here. Remember, the Lovers is not a card that literally has to do with two lovers. It has more to do with having to make a decision and having two possibilities. Um, I honestly here with the Tower, I could see that probably something shifted in his routine. Probably he's working on something, on a new project, and he's like living a different routine, or he's focusing on other things. So I don't see him like something. Definitely was cut or was ended abruptly, and I think that probably has to do with that Ten of Cups, with that feeling of like, oh, we used to hang out more often. And now it's like, let's get back to work. Now it's like, okay, we cannot meet. Like, actually, they can meet, but probably, there's a lot of pressure from his side because he is a busy guy. Probably there's a lot of, there's a project that he has in mind in particular that um, he's a very decided to get it, so he's investing all his energy in this. So even though he wants to hang out, or he wants to be able to see more his friends, he's like pushed and forced to make a decision and put priorities. And I believe that his priorities right now are focused on his career, and making like smarter decisions. I don't know if maybe in the past he had worked on something that didn't live up to his expectations. Probably he wanted to create something different, or get a different role. And all of the sudden, the possibility just vanished. And he is a bit like, again, he's observing different choices, and also I believe that he's thinking a lot about his life, his life choices. Definitely, I think that he does like her. Like I think that it's not only her. Probably it's a group of person, and she is between these people. She is included in this group. Um, but he is a guy that he has another priorities, and also with the Lover's card, probably he's a bit indecisive. Him, despite being an Aries, he's a guy that he's a bit indecisive, or actually like, or either he has another options, or there's something about the way they communicate that it's a bit like not clear. I have a feeling, I don't know why, that he sees her like I don't know if she's younger than him, but he sees her like that she's very young, but not so much in age, more like in attitude. That probably he's more into someone a bit more mature, or someone that has a sort of like a different aura of experience, because he also has his doubts about his romantic abilities. Of course, you often see him like playing a romantic role, or playing other roles that are very different from who he really is. And in here, I sense that he can get a bit indecisive, and actually, even if he has some sort of interest, it gets confusing for him, and probably he needs the other person to make the move, you know. And in this case, I really think that he does respect her, and he does like admire her a lot. But I think that it has to do like a sort of family feeling, you know. Because he also, he got a card that is Jupiter in Virgo, so he has a lot of influence of Virgo energy on him. And this card talks about patience. So I think that what he's saying from his side is that probably, the nature of the relationship, or actually the way he views this bond, it can change at some point. It can turn into something else. But, he's a guy that you cannot push him to make certain decisions, at least not now. He's not ready yet. But with the card of patience from his side, he could be like, a bit like, he could change. His feelings could change for her. They could evolve into something else. But honestly, I see him like very calculative, very calculating. I think that this guy is not. He values other things, in a female. Probably he values someone that also is very career orientated, but also someone that is a sort of like colleague. Someone that, because I believe that since he got the card of patience, somehow you have to be patient with him if you are interested in him. So he is not easy to get close to. He looks like he's very sweet and approachable, but actually he's a tough cookie. So, and you have to have patience. If you're into him, you have to be patient, because, he can be a bit like confusing. Not you can find yourself like doubting. Okay, like what is he into. And then from her side, Jisoo got the Five of Cups, Knight of Wands, and Ace of Wands. So she's and from the Oracle, she got the card of Venus in Gemini, flattery. So I think that for her, both of them started reading with cards that are cups. So something happened in the past, the sentiment was there, the emotional connection. They definitely like each other. They are not like indifferent to each other. They had a great experience, like working together, like being next to each other. It was very nice. Like the chemistry is cool, but I think that she also felt like there was some awkwardness in the air, and she probably she had a sort of chance, but she didn't take it. Probably he said something and she just like brush it off or changed subjects, so things became really like weird. Like I'm getting that Jisoo also didn't get the message. So there's a bit of confusion between these two. I believe that they are both very brave actually. I think that they are very open. She got all these cards of wands, so definitely she's very outgoing next to him. She initiates the conversation. She's very funny. She's very enthusiastic when she's next to him. She actually feels very motivated when she's next to him. Like she feels very happy, and she feels like she can be herself. And I think that this is very important. And probably, he did give her a few advices about the craft, probably about acting, that somehow light up her interest a bit more in acting or pursuing acting. She probably is like, okay, and probably, this Five of Cups could be the representation of the snowdrop experience. Her feeling like, oh, we had we had something great here that we made together with this community, and somehow we didn't get to enjoy it. So there's a bit of sorrow in here, like, oh, this was wasted. We could have had so much more. So I think that probably now she is a bit more, she's stronger, like mentally and also physically. And she's like, okay, I'm going to follow his advice. I'm going to defend my next projects or my ideals. I feel like Jisoo is a very idealistic person, and I see her like definitely working and moving her body, her soul, her spirit. She's very motivated. She's very inspired. She's about to create something very beautiful and very. She feels very courageous to do so. Honestly, she feels like, okay, this is my moment. So honestly, I think that they could like reunite after this creation of hers comes out, because she is available. I think that she's moving on from that initial Five of Cups because she felt like opportunities were taken away from her, like the possibility of actually being able to celebrate something, or actually to, it's not about winning awards, it's more about transmitting the right feeling. When you work so hard for something, you are like, okay, I cannot wait to show this to the people I love. And somehow when it is a bit like interrupted, and there was so much like drama literally around it, that she felt like she failed as well in some aspects. She felt like she should have been stronger. I don't know if she could have made a decision that could change, the course of things. But that's how she felt. She felt a bit like a coward, a bit like, oh, I should have done something. But, it was spoiled already. It wasn't something that she could help. But probably, this feeling of like, oh, I didn't do enough to defend this project or say something. I think that probably she wanted to say something. And this is also something that she's recovering from. From now on, she wants to defend her work. She wants to defend the people that she works with. Also, she's very protective of him at the same time. So, you could possibly like see her, like if he, I don't know, if he like if he's working on something or if he's doing, a new act or something, she's going to be there to support him. I definitely see Jisoo being more brave and passionate and actually not caring what people think if they associate them together, because she feels a bit more free. She feels like very excited. This is a very exciting moment for her. She's feeling very that fire, that fiery side. And I know that people wanted me to do a reading for her, and I believe it's her solo that is coming up. But I think that I've been reading for Jisoo a lot. I had read for her the past January that it was her birthday reading. So you should check out those if you want to know something about the solo, because when I pull cards, normally I talk about the energy that is available, but sometimes what I say, it has impact on future projects. So you know you should like pay attention to my readings, um, and try to find an extra meaning. Exercise your ability to be intuitive as well. But I think that definitely here from her side, probably she's also talking about this new stage. This solo project. She's feeling very, very courageous. She's ready to take the lead. She's very passionate. She's very passionate about it. She actually feels, she had been feeling like actually very good about herself. Probably, connecting with her self esteem. She's feeling very proud of herself. She's like, okay, I done well. I'm doing well. Like she's no longer feeling pity for herself. She's like, I'm doing well. Like I'm taking over the control and I love it and I feel free. She's loving this. And I think that probably in her connection with him, she also feels like this. She feels like, okay, this is my friend. I'm going to defend my friend. And I'm also going to talk openly about him if I have the chance. Like, I'm going to say his name. I'm not going to hide, and let people think what they want. Also, let's remember that Jisoo is a Capricorn and she has a moon in Aquarius. So, she has very much air energy. So she is like connecting with her freedom. Also, Jisoo is someone that is not also easy you know, to see she has this sort of Aquarius energy in her that is like you don't know if she's into you or if she's just being friendly. So she's also a bit like, like confusing. Maybe for him it's also a bit confusing, like, okay, should I make a move, should I not, and for her it's like, okay, do I say something or will I spoil everything, and she got the card of flattery, the card of Venus in Gemini. So definitely when they talk to each other, she feels very flattered. She's like, wow, I can have conversations with this guy, and he really puts the effort to communicate with me. And I think that that's something that she finds attractive, actually. Probably she's very into how intelligent he is, and or how good he is with words or putting emotions into words. She feels very flattered. She's like, okay, he's someone that I can learn from, and probably, he between those texts and those messages, probably he did say something, but she was being flattered by it, but at the same time being this Gemini like energy, like very fast changing subject and talking about and making a joke or talking about something else and bringing up a new subject of conversation. Because if you notice the picture of the Venus in Gemini is like, okay, it's information coming from different sides. So somehow it gets confusing. It's like, okay, like focus, please. Like we were talking about this, like probably for him it was also a bit weird. Like I just said this and you changed the subject, so yeah, you know, maybe she feels flattered, but she maybe is not interested. I don't know. But she did get the flattery. She did get that there was maybe through text and, through some words that he said, she was like, oh, I know what you're doing. But I don't know. I think that she also has to find her moment also to get the message. It has to do with her self-esteem. Probably she also doubts herself. She's like, oh no, this is not what I think it is. He didn't say that. He meant something different. So yeah, it's a sort of game of misunderstandings. Then they got the world card, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ten of Wands. So yeah, I mean, the world card is like a cycle is ending, and I definitely believe that the friendship is going to continue, that actually they are very stable when it comes to this. They are going to keep talking to each other and keep working on this bond. Definitely I see them. But here also with the Ten of Wands, these are very busy people, to be honest. And I believe that probably this year they're going to be very busy. And I think that they also feel the pressure of people around them. People have so much expectations about the nature of the relationship, probably, about what they mean to each other, that it becomes a heavy weight, honestly. It becomes a heavy weight because they are not ready to make the decision yet. At least from his side, I see him like he's like, yes, but no, not now. And she also is concentrated on something else, so definitely they do like each other. There's a bond, there's a continuation of this bond. They definitely consider each other like family, like not family in the sense of like, oh, we're brothers and sisters, but there's a lot of respect. And there's also this sense, since it seems like they are in the same, it's not just being in the same field, but probably they have common interests and also people in common. Probably they hang out in the same crowd of people, or they have the same friends, they have mutual friends, because he got the Ten of Cups and then they got the Ten of Pentacles. So they are part of a community. So it's not like they are going to miss each other, because actually there's always an opportunity to reunite, to reunite. So yes, that can also, with a lot of patience, of course, that familiarity can turn into a bond. But I think that there's a lot of pressure on these people. I think that they need to be left alone a bit, because otherwise the bond is not going to develop into something like deeper. Also, they are very focused on their careers. They really want to make the most of their careers, especially him. He is sort of in a rush, in a hunting for better roles. So, he's been very practical, been very focused, been very like career driven, and she also is a Capricorn. She's also like getting ready for her stuff. So, the sentiment is there, the foundation of the relationship is there, but yes, for it to turn into something more, there needs to be more time and dedication. And I think that for now they are busy. So yes, guys, this is all I have for them. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to subscribe and like the video. So thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.